again. Vale, hello, who are you? Where are you? And how do you attempt to make a living on the edge of this world?
I'm Gerard Rubio. I'm 27 and I live with my parents.
And I'm Raul Nieves. I'm 28 and I'm friends with Gerard since we were in high school. We started an artistic collective about 4 years ago, and I live on my own with my flatmates in a tiny room in a very dark and ugly flat here in Poblenou, where we are, because we are artists in residency in Hangar.org, which is a production center in
art.
Which is a center for producing arts and culture, or whatever.
Yeah.
In Barcelona.
Media art, mostly.
So
we have a cheap life, and what we have, it's time. That's like our exchange money.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's what we use.
What we play with.
Yeah, we invest a lot of time to get knowledge, and then with this knowledge we make some projects. With this knowledge we also can do some workshops, like transfer this knowledge to the people, and that's what we are doing right now. We're doing some workshops, a couple of them, or we just finished one last weekend, and we're in the middle of one with Arturo Castro. And in this workshop we're teaching to the people how to build their own 3D printer, Mendel Prusa.
Which is a printer that can print another printer, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And well, we're gonna finish the workshop this next weekend, and it's going to be about how to use the printers and stuff, and also how to tune them, and also how to scan and in 3D with using diverse software and hardware and things like that. So this is actually a workshop that comes out of a project that we did in Las Ramblas called Beyond Souvenir, and that not as the other projects, or I would say as very specially, has given us the chance to earn some money with an artistic project that from scratch wasn't intended to produce any money at all.
So the only money you get is from workshops?
The projects that we've been producing were normally funded in the sense that we got some money. For example, in Haberland, which is a project that we did for Salar Jova, we submitted the project and we got 650 euros to produce the project, and we spent 625 euros in materials.
Got some beers with the money.
Yeah, we got some beers. And then so we got the chance to go to Linz later to exhibit the project. Then in the case of the Beyond Souvenir, we actually got some money, some fees, and a lot of money to produce the project, which was actually expensive, because they even with the money they hired a security guy because the project was on the street and things like that, and some projectors and TVs and a 3D printer and so on.
Bureaucracy.
Yeah. Yeah, but normally we wouldn't make money out of the projects, or that's how things are here in Spain, or in Barcelona at least.
The thing is that this project became really popular online, so we started receiving emails and calls from people all over the world, and we started traveling.
Yeah.
And then we get some money from this project.
And our idea is, well, we've been doing this, but our idea is to kind of invest like most of this money. Like this far, we didn't get any money personally out of any of the projects, So we neither put any money on the projects. We only had to momentarily put some money that we would recover later. But normally we would start with €0 or very few euros, like using like stuff from the trash, like broken 3D printers and things like that. So we never had to put any money to start our project. That was one of our limitations, but also like one of the things that kind of created an ecosystem for us, or an ecology that made us gain some skills and a lot of knowledge and things like that. And also with this part we didn't get any money, so the plan is to invest all the money in like buying new materials and stuff to do other projects and things like that. And it's not that we are doing this just as a hobby, but we believe now we have the time and we don't need to make a living out of this right now, because we have our parents or our job or our scholarship or whatever. So it's time to kind of like grow in the direction, exactly the direction that we want, and later we will try to make a living out of that, which will be hard, but we'll try. I don't know. We'll see.
And I mean, things are getting better for us. We're doing these workshops and we're getting some money. What was I going to say?
So somehow it's like it's also the starting. Like after 4 years, it's the starting. Just like a month ago, we just finished a workshop in Vic on how to use technology for creative and artistic purposes, and like some of the most spread tools like Arduino and things like that. So for us, it's kind of like this circle of like investing time and neurons on learning things and discovering and experimenting stuff. It's kind of closing into the now we can spread this and get some money out of the time that we put on experimentation and things like that. So we are kind of like shaping the way we think we should be able to survive, or something like that.
Mm-hmm. So do you spend? You said you got parts and things out of the trash for your, you build stuff that you get out of the trash. Is that what you do? You go around the streets and look for stuff, or do people give you stuff, or how does that work?
We have like a kind of a trash lab. We have some parts from scavenged printers and pieces of wood we find on the street. Yeah, we try to reuse as many materials as we can. That makes like cheap production, and
it's also like a political choice. Yeah. But in the beginning, it was like, I mean, we didn't have any other choice actually, because we didn't have any money. So we just thought, okay, we can use this to make all these things. We have another project that we never did, and it was actually about out of scratch or actually reusing trash as it's called Desecho Mayúsculas, and you can find the video on the internet. And it was about reusing like trash bottles to reshape them and then spread them on the beach and then be able to make shapes and stuff like that. And now it's not so much a necessity, but we still agree with the political choice or the political point of view that reusing reusing before recycling, before trashing, should be the way to keep the world a little bit longer alive.
When I met you in Linz, you were there with with the two projects, yeah. And in one of the projects was the when you were making algae, using parts of Gerard's body or whatever. Whatever. How far did that develop? Did you ever make food out of that? How did it end up? Was it a
I think,
proof of concept, or you know?
Well, the algae that were in
yeah,
Linz, they never came back because Gerard
I ate it.
Okay.
he ate the algae.
Yeah, and have enough for the whole day. But
Yeah, hard to find vegan food in Linz.
Yeah, exactly. And now we have like during the winter we have like probably about 3 liters something of an hibernating culture, and now it's actually the time to grow it, regrow it, but we've been super busy actually, so it's at my place and we haven't grow it up again, but we're kind of in contact with the network of spirulina growers here in Catalonia, which is quite active. They give talks and they spread spirulina and also like the necessary tools you need to grow it, which is like a air pump and a thermometer and a couple of things. And yeah, actually now the idea is now to kind of grow it again. So at least to keep like a little bit of algae in case we have to take the Haberland somewhere else, something.
Mm-hmm.
And also we contacted people from El Bulli, because now they're opening, or they're trying to transform their restaurant into the so-called Bulli Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have a scheduled like a meeting for June or July.
yeah, in June.
For June, and we will see what happens, whether we keep with the project or we develop something completely new. We are very excited about it.
Oh my God, from interesting, from Gerard's body to the world's most famous chef. Pretty weird. So you've got this political methodology, yes, of recycling, of reuse, of experimenting, and Spain, for example, is in a very bad crisis at the moment. Do you think this crisis will mean that there is more interest in the kind of things you do?
Actually, I think there's more interest in the way we produce, because it's like a very economical way to produce, recycling and reusing, and like as the I mean, it's gonna be like more people like reusing stuff because they have not enough money maybe to buy new stuff, and they're gonna be reusing, and maybe we're gonna have some more competence on the I don't know. It's like the old days, like reusing all stuff.
Yeah, I think definitely the whole thing is going to go a bit like in the old days, like things that these kind of things that your grandparents and grandmothers and used to do, and ways of living, kind of, or and they got like they got ¿cómo así van a acabar?
Finish resources.
They disappeared somehow because there was enough money, and now they're kind of gonna come back. I'm sure about it. And it's just like we didn't. It might seem that we kind of like previewed this situation when we started something, and it's nothing at all like that. But now things are turning into kind of like the way that we were working. So we don't know what's going to happen. This far, it didn't affect us so much, but I guess we are not so scared either, because we were kind of like, I'm kind of excited. I mean, things were fucked anyway, and it's just now that it becomes available and people is actually suffering, but they were fucked anyway. And so I guess it's the chance. The time is the time for a change, or there's a chance for a change. And there's like, for example, things like cooperatives of consume, like where people is actually organizing themselves to buy directly from the agriculture people, instead of like using all these intermediates. And so these are the kind of things that are now being accelerated or pushed very far, and I think it's something we are interested, of course. So this kind of structures and human relationships and sociology and economic kind of structures that could emerge. We are very interested in these kind of things, and these things are going to, they are already like being pushed, and I think it's going to be even bigger for sure.
You said you've been doing workshops with 3D printers that make printers. How do you see that technology affecting manufacturing or production?
We see a change. We think it's gonna change somehow. We don't really know how, like how big it's gonna grow and how much it's gonna spread. But we're like trying to make it big. We're doing this workshop for spreading this community, this technology, to try to change like the way that things are being produced. We believe in like in a custom production, and
it's also a bit scary, right? Because you don't. So we try to emphasize that the principles of the RepRap project, rather than, because if you see one of these 3D printers, you can see it from a very political point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could think, okay, now I can print everything I want and that I won't use after 1 minute of use. Or maybe I just print it and then I see, oh, how cool, and then I just throw it. And then I finish with a pile of plastic trash that it's not easy to recycle, or that might be printed out of PLA, which is an organic compound that can be recycled, or it can biodegrade, but still it takes some cost to produce. It's probably not produced very close to where you live, so it would again be like the whole thing super stupid and absurd. And so that's kind of like a scary point of view from the RepRap project, that probably it's very sweet for the 3D printer manufacturers, especially the ones that are not open source and things like that. So they just like pretend to sell a lot of printers. So there's a lot of people printing just like stupid things at home. Mm-hmm. And our idea is completely different. And we use RepRap for an artistic purpose, within a project that has a very critical and super ironic point of view, that when you go to the commercial advertisement agencies, they don't really care about it. And for us now, it's time to kind of like, we're trying to push the RepRap project in its essence, rather than let people at home buy a printer that might be a bit more expensive, not so much, and they just get the printer and they don't know. We are trying to. We are not getting that much money, but we are trying to push the philosophy of the whole project. So we're trying to create a small community, but it's still a community in Barcelona, so that the whole thing becomes like self-aware somehow. Because if you have like many RepRap printers at home, but the people doesn't know each other and stuff, it doesn't make too much sense. So the idea is that they all know each other. They all know that they have a machine that can print another machine, which is the most important thing. And also we kind of start to organize ourselves, maybe to be able to recycle this plastic locally, or maybe to source it locally, these kind of things, right? It's not just like print as much as you want. It's kind of cheap.
And do you find the community of people you're doing these things with? Do you find those people online, or do you find them offline, or how do you find the community?
We organize the workshop here in Angar because we are here, so it's quite easy, and they have like big space and stuff. So it was Angar, they were the ones that published it in their website. And we got like 14, 15 people that wanted to enroll. So we got like 13 participants, and then one person from Angar, because Angar is getting a printer for Angar itself. So we're not very sure how they knew about it, but surely they saw it through their website, and then they wrote us and stuff. Anyway, we think it's probably going. I mean, there's a chance to get more people into the project probably, because it's not so expensive, but still is quite a lot of money if you are jobless or something like that in Spain, which is quite normal nowadays. Like to spend 500 euros or so, it's not so easy. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. We also hope that somebody might just start some job or some company, like small business, something with the printers, like printing, I don't know, like jewelry or things like that, or making cakes with chocolate strudels or stuff like that.
Yeah, you guys mainly work with physical objects. How important to what you do is the internet or the or social networks or whatever? Is that important for you guys?
Actually, we haven't been paying many attention to the social networks.
Yeah, we have like a communication policy, or however you call that, like super bad. Like our website is crap. Our Facebook is it's like unattended. Our Twitter account has like maybe 3 or 5 posts or tweets or something like that, but it's yeah, we are super bad at that. But of course we use internet all the time, like and the social networks as well, like to check what like the people that we kind of look at. No, come on, the people that we normally check, follow and things like that. Like I don't know, the RepRap developers, for example, to check what are they doing, like. Real time, like I don't know, I'm trying this, I'm trying that, like there are many guys, check what's the latest trend or standard in some part of the printer, things like that. We check their Twitter accounts, we check the blogs of the RepRap community, just to mention the RepRap project.
Yeah.
And
we're like very aware about what's happening, but we don't contribute to this knowledge. I mean,
we are not very, somehow we are not very used, or we don't know how to do it, and we also probably, so we are lacking like a routine or something. We normally we are very like multitask, like doing stuff for university and then doing things for blah, maybe we're doing some workshop. Maybe we have like personal projects, like I'm working for the university and Harvard is developing some stuff for a music band, also like framed in the university sort of activity. So we don't have much time. So that's why normally when we are working on a project or workshop or something, we are super stressed, like trying to get it done. And of course, it's probably not a very good idea to not give yourself like this publicness in the network, but we don't do it.